Jamie, Emily, lovely to meet you both.
You too.
Jamie, how does it feel to actually be releasing a film this year? Because it has been such an uncertain year when it comes to the cinema. I mean, Emily, I think I was supposed to be talking to you back in March for A Quiet Place 2, and that's been shelved. But you guys finally have something out on the big screen.
No, it's mad.
Yeah, it's strange. I mean, I actually, this is the third film I've had out during this 2020 year. But the first one is this movie that actually probably benefited more from just being released digitally. It's a very small film and sort of made sense for it. The second one's actually done surprisingly well. A film called Synchronic with Anthony Mackie that was a lot of drive-in. Most of its money came from drive-in theaters in the States, which was kind of mad. But the weirdest part about that is, you have this amazing experience making these jobs, making these films, and then don't get to all be together a year later and to offer it to the world and all have a party and a drink together. And that bit of it's been a wee bit bad. But listen, at least these people are getting to see it and feel like it's coming at a nice time of the year, and it's a bit of a hopeful ending to the year if you see this film, I think.
Yeah. Well, Emily, you've said that when you read the script, you were taken with and bewitched by it. What was it about the script that made you feel like that?
I think that sort of fairy tale otherworldly quality that it had, and Shanley is such an exquisite writer. He almost has the characters speaking to each other in verse. I mean, it was just sort of like nothing else I'd written. Very poetic, very lyrical, very beautiful, and really funny, and the awkwardness of being human, which you often don't find in scripts, where all these sort of curated versions of characters that have to be brave and courageous or passionate or have the perfect thing to say or behave in the right way. And I think along comes this script with all of its oddity and awkwardness, and I just loved it. It just, although it's kind of got that fable quality, the stakes felt very grounded, and I was very moved by it. You're dealing with real things, real love, real mortality, real fear, real passion, and I think I just loved it. Completely unique.
Jamie, Emily kept mentioning the words oddity and quirkiness, and they could relate perfectly to your character of Anthony. You've said that you could relate to that. What do you two have in common?
It's almost better for Emily to answer that, having you spent all that time with me. Listen, we're all odd, all of us, right? Whether you want to believe it or not, you're weird. You're a weirdo. Emily's a weirdo. We're all weirdos. And and Anthony is like the king of the weirdos, and I feel it was
the king of the weirdos. Oh, that's going to be your autobiography. I love that. The king of the weirdos. That's it. You heard it here.
I find a lot more of his sort of uneasiness and lack of ability sometimes, and confidence, and lack of sort of knowing much more relatable than other characters I've played, who are much more aware of everything, and not only aware but in control of their surroundings, their destiny, their actions. So I felt like he was this great sort of vehicle to plant all of my own oddness, and then heighten it further within Anthony, but a lot of that was done on the page, for me, obviously, but I felt I had real freedom, that I didn't have a ceiling in terms of how sort of strange I could make within something that's sort of believable.
I've never been read so well, Jamie. I'm a weirdo. Love that. Gonna have that as a quote somewhere. But Emily, at the start of the film, it says, welcome to Ireland. I know you've been here before. You have a house in West Cork, but what kind of welcome did you get? Because you were here for 3 months. Was it in Mayo?
Wait, who has a house in West Cork?
Was that a big lie? There was a big article written about Emily having a house in West Cork. I'll send you the link. Apparently you have a house in West Cork.
Can I just say,
I wish I did.
more. She's got one
What do you think,
Skibbereen.
Jamie?
There's so many properties you may remember. There's one in Skibbereen in West Cork.
I wish I had a house in West Cork. That'd be fab. No, I actually had barely spent that much time in Ireland. I remember I'd gone to Dublin on like a netball tour when I was like 14. That was like my only experience.
What position did you play?
I played centre.
I was really goal defence. I haven't spoken to anyone else who knows what netball is, so this is amazing.
Love netball. I absolutely love it. So I went on a netball tour, and that was what I remember of going to Ireland. So this was truly my first full immersion in how beautiful and extraordinary of a country it is, and how extraordinary the people are. And on the weekends off, we would travel, and I'd just kind of drive down through Connemara, which was just so striking and sort of Jurassic almost. It was so beautiful. And so yeah, I loved it. I want to go back. I mean, I loved being there, loved the people, loved the whole thing.
And Jamie, what was it like having Emily, John Hamm, Christopher Walken in Ireland with you? I mean, what were the locals' reactions when you'd walk into places going, what? No, huh? What?
I know you're just excited to show it off, I guess, and listen, I admit County Mayo is not a county I was particularly familiar with, and probably the county I knew the least in all of Ireland, maybe Roscommon, but it's so beautiful there. The people of Crossmolina and Ballina, which were the sort of main two towns that we were filming near and living near, were just so welcoming as you'd imagine them to be at home, and I think in general, most Americans have a bit of almost a fascination with Ireland, and many of them have a very strong connection to Ireland, and plenty of them will claim to be Irish. So that's a very strong pool. Anyway, so particularly in the East Coast, they're all Irish. So it's a cool thing to then be not only in Ireland but in like proper rural Ireland, and get, you're not seeing some cosmopolitan, Dublin, Belfast, Cork version of it. You're seeing real Ireland and real people, and we just had a laugh. It's funny now thinking about it. Pre-COVID world where you could actually all go out for dinner together and go to pubs and enjoy each other's company, and those days seem like a very distant memory, but it happened, and I'm very thankful it got to happen for us.
Well, I hope to have you both back in Ireland, and Emily, maybe we can all visit your house in West Cork when you're next home.
Exactly. You're all very welcome. You're very welcome.
Thanks very much, guys. Lovely to meet you both.
Thank you.